Hi, my name is Michelle Wyman. I'm with the Global Council for Science and the Environment, and so pleased to have Binka Libertan from Iracumbi joining me today. It's an extraordinary amount of work that you have both achieved and continue to achieve in the heart of the Atlantic rainforest through your nonprofit organization. Binka, can you tell us a little bit about the origin and the vision that you had together with your husband when you started Iracumbi back in the 90s?
So this was a midlife crisis to stop talking about sustainability and go do it. Robin had been working in the World Bank. We had raised our kids on lots of continents. And he was working in sustainability. I was a concert pianist, which goes to prove that you can do anything in your life. And when he suggested to see if sustainability was really true, we decided to go and buy a piece of land and see if we could make it work. So our criteria were to have rainforest and mountains and nice people and a warm climate. And that's why we chose Brazil.
Maybe you could share a little bit with all of us from your perspective and your experience, Binka, around the power of just a single tree.
Everybody should plant a tree. And let's take the tree I'm looking out of the window. It's a huge tree called the Jequitibá. It is 25 meters tall and its roots go 25 meters into the soil. So that's an incredible fact that most people don't know. And during its life, that tree, this is a long-lived tree, it will sequester at least 1 ton of carbon, right? We are in a rainforest, we get heavy rains. As the rain falls, the rain will be filtered through its leaves. So instead of running off down the side of the mountain and causing floods and so on, that water will infiltrate into the soil and it will replenish the aquifer. And that tree will give us, fruits and medicines, and it will give us oxygen, will store carbon. I mean, it is the magic thing, the most magic thing in the world is a tree.
Where you are right now, and through Iracumbi, how many trees have you planted?
So we planted 165,000 trees. Over the last year, when COVID knocked us all for six, as it did with all of us, we had to stop and think, which was a good thing because we were so busy doing, we never had time to think. And we were challenged by a mentor of ours from India to plant not 10,000 trees, that was our annual goal, but 55,000 trees. He said, the climate won't wait. You guys know how to do it. Just go ahead and do it. When he first said that, I thought, well, my goodness, we need people, we need trees, we need money. How are we going to get this done? And he said, you just find the land that you can reforest and care for and make sure that it is protected, forever. The money will come. Well, that was a real leap of faith, but the money is coming. And so we are upping our goal tremendously. We're very excited about it. It's enabled us to expand our forest nursery, hire more people, and really plan with the local community exactly where we're going to reforest. Every tree that's planted comes with a big dose of education, informal education over cups of coffee and working in the fields alongside the farmers to plant.
How do you see the work that you're doing at Iracumbi supporting policymaking and decision-making?
One of the things that really gave us a huge incentive to do this was when we learned that this area, which is one of the most important biodiversity conservation areas, that this was an area that way back during the military times in the 1960s and 70s, mining concessions had been given out to mine bauxite, which is, used for aluminum. And bauxite mining is strip mining. I mean, it's extremely destructive. And when we heard about this, the local community, 20 years ago was not accustomed to standing up and organizing itself. It's only in the last 20 years that people have had really any formal education of any sort. And it's not much, but it's something, right? And have begun to realize that this democracy business, for all its faults, is the best we've got, and we can actually do something and make a change. So that, for example, we have been able to organize at local level and then at state level. And the state we live in is a really large state. It's like Texas. Resistance and understanding, education about the value of biodiversity protection as opposed to the short-term value which you as the local community will see very little of bauxite mining. So I think as communities begin to understand that they can take their future into their hands and they can make a difference, what has happened here has been that we've managed to get this area declared as an area that is free of mining because people are beginning to understand right up to the state level and the federal level the importance of preserving the biodiversity, not because it's a wonderful thing to do and a moral thing to do, but for sheer economics of, if we cut the forest, we won't have any water. And then what will we do?